It didn't start as a big deal, my coworker borrowing my lunch, until I found out he'd been doing it for a year. When you work in an open office with roughly 40 people, you develop this weird unspoken culture. People borrow things, someone forgets their lunch, they grab half a sandwich from the communal fridge, someone needs a pen, they borrow from your desk. It's just how things work. I never minded being the generous type. I liked that reputation. So when I first noticed my food disappearing, I didn't think much of it. It started small in early January. I'd prepared a turkey and avocado wrap for lunch, set it in the fridge with a sticky note with my name on it. Something I did every day out of habit more than necessity. Came lunchtime, it was gone. I figured maybe I'd miscounted, maybe I'd grabbed it without thinking and left it in my car. These things happen. I grabbed a salad from the cafe instead and moved on. Then it happened again and again. Within 2 weeks, I was missing lunches about twice a week. I mentioned it casually to my friend Kenji, who worked in the same department. He laughed and said, "Yeah, that's probably Vincent." Vincent was this guy who sat 3 desks over from mine. Mid-40s, always seemed a bit scattered, but generally friendly. We'd chat about sports and weekend plans. Never anything deep, just pleasant office banter. "Wait, seriously?" I asked. Kenji nodded. "He does it to everyone. Just takes whatever's in the communal fridge if he's hungry." I stopped bringing lunch from home because of it. I felt this weird mixture of emotions. Annoyance at being stolen from, but also almost amused. I wrote it off as a quirk. Some people are just like that. Not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. I could just buy lunch or bring snacks instead. So I stopped leaving meals in the fridge during the day, started eating at my desk or going out. The thing was, Vincent never acted like anything was wrong between us. We'd still chat. He'd still ask me about my weekend. We were friendly colleagues. It felt strange knowing he was taking my lunch, yet neither of us ever acknowledged it. But then something shifted in me. A small annoyance crystallized into genuine frustration. It wasn't about the lunch itself. It was the principle. This wasn't a one-time desperate mistake. According to Kenji, this had been happening to multiple people. Vincent had apparently been doing this for over a year. A year. That meant he'd taken dozens of my meals without ever asking, never apologizing, never explaining. He'd let me assume I was going crazy or forgetful when really, he was systematically helping himself to my food like he had some kind of right to it. I started paying attention. I noticed when he'd come back from the fridge around noon, noticed the satisfied look on his face. I felt stupid for not catching on sooner. One day, I snapped. I left a note in the fridge. "Vincent, if you need lunch, just ask. I'd rather you ask than take without permission." He never responded, but the lunches stopped. The weird part? We never talked about it. He stopped stealing from me specifically, but I noticed he'd occasionally take from others' marked containers. I heard he finally got confronted by someone else a few months later. Priya from accounting apparently went to HR about it. What I realized is that Vincent was counting on everyone's politeness to enable him. He was banking on the fact that confrontation is awkward, that calling someone out makes you feel like the bad guy. So people just adjusted their behavior around his theft instead of addressing it directly. The beautiful part, honestly, it taught me that kindness isn't the same as being a doormat. You can be a genuinely nice person and still have boundaries. Setting a boundary, even just that simple note, wasn't unkind. It was honest. Vincent eventually left the company 6 months later. I never found out why, but I learned that sometimes the most important thing you can do is speak up, even when it's awkward, even when it risks the illusion of peace. T.L. Durr. Coworker stole my lunches for a year. Thought it was a quirk until I realized he was systematically taking from everyone. One note fixed it. Learned that boundaries are healthy, not mean.